All right, looks like we're live. So let's wait for some people to join in. It's just starting right now. So we're going to be doing an awesome show for today where we're going to be talking about the movie Tenet and the gas masks that were used in it. And if you guys are familiar with the channel, you probably recognize some of these gas masks because they were ones by MIRA'S Safety. So at the very final scene of it, there was a big battle there, spoiler alert, and you're going to see a lot of these type of masks in addition to other ones over there. So I thought it'd be fun to kind of dive into that. And we have a very special guest for this one with Roman, who is the founder, CEO of MIRA'S Safety. So we're going to dive into that now. Let's see if everyone could hear us so far. Let's see, looking at the chat room there. So if you could hear, say hello in the chat room, and then we'll get going on this one. So I see that the Apex Prepper is there. And is chiming in. He's going to be doing a crowd control on this one. So I'll just give it a few minutes and then we'll get started. Okay, people are saying hi. Okay, cool. Well, I think we'll just start getting going into it. So, hello from Graham. Okay, we got Prepper Agenda. Hello, Mike. Hello, Carlos. Welcome. Oh, Carlos from Puerto Rico. Awesome. Okay, you can hear great too. All right, so let's get going now. So without further ado, let's bring on the founder, president of MIRA'S Safety, Roman, and we're going to get going with this. So welcome, Roman, to the live stream. This is going to be fun.
Hey, Cliff, how you doing? Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, good to see you again. So it's been
as well.
It's been several months since the last time that you were on, and back then it was kind of early coronavirus time, and so I think you were kind of really sheltered in place at that time. So how are things going?
We were going through a big transition in our company at that time. As you can imagine, we've grown quite a bit over the course of this year, considering what's going on with coronavirus, and then compounded with civil unrest. And then, 2020 has been kind of this unpredictable hodgepodge of events that are just coming at us one after another. So, people are getting prepared. They're more interested in personal protective equipment. So this whole year has been focused on growing our company, streamlining operations, getting more customer service people, more guys in the warehouse, expanding production. It's been, we haven't really rested much this whole year. So I'm looking forward to a time where coronavirus is no longer an issue and we can go on vacation or something. So
now, when you do go out and about, what mask are you wearing?
Usually the CM-6M. If I'm going to a place that's like, I try to avoid people for the most part. I don't go to the grocery store anymore. Hey, can you hear me? You froze up a little bit. Okay, there you
go.
We're
back. They tried to shut us down. I was inverting there. Sorry.
So I don't go to the grocery store anymore. I just do Instacart. And I try to avoid people for the most part. I kind of moved over into the suburbs. Last time we spoke, I was in an apartment in Austin, closer to downtown, but now I'm kind of more on the outskirts, further away. And but when I'm out and about, like when I went to go see Tenet, I wore the CM-6M mask because you're in there's a lot of people in the movie theater and whatnot. Even though they do separate and put everybody in these like pods, and they have a pretty good system here. I just try to stay away for the most part.
I did bring the CM-6M with me to Tenet, but then I switched to more of a half face mask during it. But then over in Washington, at least they're calling it phase 3 over here. So the nearest person to us is probably about 30 feet away. So you're technically allowed to have popcorn at that point. But it was a lot of fun. Well, I thought we could just
what did you think of the movie? Did you see it?
Yeah, so let's get down into Tenet. Yeah, I definitely watched it, and feel like, am I still there?
You're here. I could hear you.
Okay, cool. Sorry, I keep hearing it cut in and out, but I saw it. It was awesome. It was quite the mind bender, and I brought my wife came with me. She had no idea what the movie was going in, and she was trying to keep up. But as far as all the different plot lines and timelines and stuff that was going on, she thought it was a prepper movie, and I'm like, no, it's Christopher Nolan. It's this is awesome movie, and so I don't know why she thought it was just a prepper movie, but we really liked it.
She's going with you, so she figured.
Yeah, she's like,
prepper movie.
Yeah, she's like, are you seriously wearing that gas mask to the movie theater? I'm like, yeah, I guess this is for business purposes.
Yeah,
I'm talking to Roman coming up. Well, can you talk a little bit about the background as far as how you got? Because the CM-6M, there's a whole. By the way, everyone watching, spoiler alert, we're going to be talking about stuff in the movie Tenet. So but even if we do give up spoilers, it's still it's not going to give anything away because it's a very complex movie.
Even if I tried to spoil the movie for people, I couldn't, just because it's such a complex timeline and the plot, and it kind of loops in on itself. It's a Christopher Nolan movie at its like peak. Yeah. So, you know, as you've probably seen other Christopher Nolan movies, he tends to do mind bender type of flicks. You know, he likes to, you know, create a non-linear timeline for the movie, as he did with Memento and other movies. So this is definitely one of those Christopher Nolan movies that, you know, I would say it's his most complex work to date. It's like Inception, but complicated. Yeah. So if you thought Inception was complicated, it's not complicated in comparison to Tenet.
That's how I've been described.
Some people I've spoken to with very high IQs, like, yeah, I got the whole thing. Yeah, it goes backwards, forwards. I get the whole thing. And I'm just not that smart, I guess. I've went to go see it now 3 times. Yeah. And I'm almost there, like 100% on everything as it's happening. But there's still, like, you know, towards the end, you know, I don't want to give away any major spoilers, but Neil's timeline is still not fully clear to me. Yeah. You know, when he was actually in the future, how he was recruited, you know, I don't want to go too deep into it. I don't want to give away any spoilers because I'm sure a few people here haven't seen it.
Yeah, before going into it, I watched the whole spoiler review of it, so I went and it, and then I still watched it, and it was still kind of real complicated. And then we watched a few other ones, and I was learning all about kind of the whole time theory that was used for it. But it was again, I went into it looking for these gas masks that were using it because I knew that it was going to be featuring the ones that you had there. How did they reach out to you as far as did someone just put a huge order in for like 300 gas masks?
Yeah. So the way it happened was it was last May, and we received a missed call. Like at that time, we were growing, but the company wasn't anywhere near where it is today. And so we received a missed call. I called back. And then it went straight to message that this is a secured line by Warner Brothers. And I was like, oh man, a secured line by Warner Brothers. I mean, that's a little strange. But I couldn't get through. So good thing they left a message, and I called back. And the lady I spoke to, she's like, yeah, you know, we ordered your masks, and Chris really likes your masks. And by Chris, they mean Chris Nolan, right? And I'm like, oh, okay, that's great. And they're like, yeah, you know, we want to feature them. And the way these arrangements typically work is, you know, you send us whatever we need and you get featured in the movie. You know, it's not, you know, if they reach out to you, then usually it's, you know, exposure in exchange for product. If you reach out to them, you know, there are product placement companies out there. They'll charge you, you know, I mean, Coca-Cola, for somebody to drink a Coke, and let's say World War Z, I remember they had a Coke scene. I think Coca-Cola paid like millions of dollars just for a few second scene. So we didn't have to pay millions of dollars. It was free for us. The catch was we did have to send them, you know, 350 masks.
That's a lot of masks. Yeah,
it's a lot of masks. But it was for a big scene, and you know, it was exciting to me because I've always been a huge fan of Christopher Nolan. You know, just the fact that he was interested in our product, I was like, you know, at that time, 350 masks for us was a big deal. And it's still a big deal today. I mean, that's a lot of money. Yeah. So we just decided, hey, you know, Christopher Nolan doesn't, you know, his team doesn't call you every day asking for a product placement. So we have to do it. Like, no matter what, we have to do it.
And so in that big final scene, they were using the CM6M, and it looked like kind of like the Particle Max style filter then on it. It
was a Particle Max style filter.
Yeah. Okay.
So it was a Particle.
But it didn't have the white. It didn't have the bright white though. It was like more of the gray.
Yeah. So this is actually the mask that was used in the movie. This is a movie prop. This was used on screen, and as you can see, this is a standard Particle Max filter. Yeah. The big difference is this one's hollow. So we specifically made this for the movie without the P3 filter inside of it because that lowers breathing resistance considerably. Yep. And, you know, these guys are running around sweating, and, you know, this was a very active scene. And doing so with a real gas mask, you know, with actual breathing resistance would have been really hard for the actors over the course of a full month, because they shot that scene over the course of pretty much a full month with hundreds of extras. So it was just, you know, they liked the P3 filter, and they didn't like the white label on it. So we put a gray label that we had printed up, and they allowed us to keep our logo on there. I don't know if you saw the
I did see the logo during it.
Insignia.
Yeah.
Every time I saw it, I would just sit there and giggle.
You're like,
and,
yes.
And I was fortunate enough to get one signed by Christopher Nolan and sent over to me. So
that is so cool. You're gonna have to mount that somehow.
I'm gonna create a little display case. We're very excited about it. We're gonna put it in the office and have it for the whole team to look at and kind of remember this momentous thing that we were in a Chris Nolan movie. It's just awesome. It's unreal.
And in that final, it's how do I explain it? Like, they need to have the gas mask to breathe air, because when they're going back through time and they're inverting through it, you need the air for that. But that final scene, it was a big kind of battle where I was they had the particle mask filter on it, but did the people that were inverting in that scene also have oxygen coming through for that at the same time? I was trying to get that part of it.
So the whole thing with masks is within that scene, some people had just a filter on it because you're in a dusty environment and there may be hazardous things in the environment, so they want to protect from that. And the other guys had inverted oxygen attached. So inverted oxygen is needed in order to invert, because if you invert, then you also need inverted oxygen to breathe in while you're going through that. So that's why they had the tubes coming out of the side.
Yeah, I thought that was I was keeping an eye on all the little details on it, and then there was also the scene where the main character. There were some times where they didn't have the insert in it. I think probably because for movie purposes,
they wanted to show the characters' faces. So they took it out, and they told us, they were like, "Hey, we're gonna modify these masks slightly, but they'll be you could still see." Exactly what the mask is, but we're going to add a tube or something else to it. And I was perfectly fine with that. So
yeah. Have you been noticing people purchasing the mask specifically because it was in the movie Tenet then?
We've had a few people. We got a review on our website. Somebody went to go see it, and then they already bought the mask and they were really excited that it was featured in the movie. They're big Christopher Nolan fans. Yeah. I'm sure, come Halloween, this is going to be a popular item because it has a dual purpose now. You're protecting yourself from coronavirus and tear gas, and Halloween's going to come right around the time of the election. So I expect there to be quite a bit of tear gas deployed in the coming months.
Yeah, we always do a big Halloween thing. Normally I jump out of the bushes as Leatherface, but now with the coronavirus, and that's like the one time of the year I could do that and scare little kids and not get arrested for it. But
you got to be careful doing that any other time of year, right?
Yeah. Well, we have our local cops are in on it and everything, and we do a big skit with them. It's a lot of fun because we have like 1,400 trick or treaters normally, but which is crazy. So we have like a ticket person and security, but. This year we're doing with more of a coronavirus theme, so we're all going to be in hazmat suits and we're going to be having our gas masks on, and there'll be a lot of mirror safety products in there too. So it'll be like zombie hazmat style.
Take some pictures.
Yeah, I'll definitely will, and we'll tag you on it. Yeah, but yeah, we're going kind of like the scene in ET at the very end with all the plastic sheeting and stuff and tubes. So that's kind of the what we're going with on this one. So after they use all the 350 gas masks, what do you get them back, used ones, or
no? So part of the agreement was, whenever it comes to movie placement stuff, like you got to agree on things beforehand.
Yeah.
Like once you sign on the dotted line, there's no changes. So before I sent them anything, I was like, well, number one, we need to be in the credits because we're giving you, almost $100,000 worth of product. Yeah. So you got to put us in the credits. And at first they were like, well, I don't know, we got to talk and this and that. And they spoke to Chris about it, and Chris okayed it. He was like, okay, you can put him in the credits. And then I also had agreed for them to send me back 10 masks, one of which was signed. So this is one of 10 masks that I have, which I'm going to do like 10 masks for TENET, kind of like a display in my office. Yeah. So I got that back. And they beat these masks up pretty good. So like halfway through, they're like, hey, we need more masks. So they got an extra 50 masks. Yeah. Because, polycarbonate, sand, dust, dirt, they artificially kind of tried to make them look even more weathered and beaten. Yeah. And over the course of a month, just abusing these masks, they got pretty scratched up, and they needed to see the faces better for the main actors. Paul, Robert Pattinson, and John David Washington.
Yeah.
They had big roles with these products.
So when did when did the initial shipment and the filming happen? Because I know like earlier this spring, if they put an order for 350, you guys, everyone was that's like in the early coronavirus time. So
we wouldn't have been able to do it now at all, because we just didn't have the product. I mean, we just recently got back into stock, and through our back order, which we're very kind of happy that we got through that. But it started last May, and they were filming from like end of May to sometime in October, and they were going all over the world. They were going to India and Estonia and Norway. I mean, this is a globe-trotting kind of massive budget, picture here. I think the budget was 220 million. And just to put that into comparison, Avatar was 160 million. So this was like a lot more than Avatar. We wrapped up by October, and then I was under NDA, obviously. I think when we spoke like a year ago, I was like, we're going to be in this cool movie, but I can't tell you anything about it.
Yeah.
I can't wait to tell you, but I'll let you know once things, come out and are clear. And the only time I really started talking about it was when they released on the trailer, they showed our mask. So then I could say, okay, the mask is going to be in the movie because it was featured in the trailer, which is public information at that point.
Yep.
It's just the whole thing. It felt like it was destiny almost for them to call us. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if the way they found us was seeing your review, because you did it sometime.
That'd be cool.
You were one of our earlier reviewers early last year. So I wouldn't be surprised if, based on your review, they found that and then reached out to us.
That'd be super cool. Well, I changed the title in that review video to the gas mask from TENET. So just, but man, that'd be pretty awesome. So and it sounds like Christopher Nolan was already a fan of it. So who knows? Maybe.
Well, I think they tried a bunch of different masks, and they chose the one which has the best field of view and which could look good on camera. And I think the CM6M met both of those requirements. So.
And what were the other, because the CM6M one wasn't the only gas mask in there. They had some more like the tactical style ones with less visibility in it. So what were some of the other ones that you saw in this one? Or maybe we could talk about that too.
Yeah, so the movie starts off with the protagonist wearing the MSA Millennium mask, which is a very popular mask with police departments. It's got this kind of bubble style, full face visor. And in comparison to the CM6M, the visor is actually soft. What the purpose of a soft visor is, I'm not really sure. I'm sure it has some tactical application, but it's not really good for riot control, because if you get punched in the face, it's soft. You're gonna feel the hit pretty hard. Also, in the beginning, the SWAT team was wearing M50 masks. Which are Avon products. They have like a goggle style field of view. Great masks. They're actually actively used by the U.S. military. Later on, the protagonist and Neil in the airport scene where they're going, all right, spoiler alert, guys, where there's an inversion scene happening and they're wearing masks. Those are the Foshida A4 masks. I don't own one personally, so I don't really have too much experience with that mask. But it's a cool product, and we actually sent them for that scene the CM-7M mask, which is our more tactical one. We sent them a few dozen units, but they didn't make the final cut. It's I guess they chose that mask instead for that scene, which is cool. Probably because you could see the eyes better. Remember that one scene where they zoom into the eye at the end? It's like just to show you that it's him. I guess maybe there was, the window on the A4 for the eye, the visor was a little bigger. So they chose that mask instead.
This is a funny comment here by a third eye guy, Roman. It would have been funny if you had been an extra in the movie. I totally agree that.
Yeah, that would have been great.
That should have been in the contract.
At that time, my negotiation skills weren't that, fine-tuned.
Yeah.
I could have asked for more for sure, considering I'm giving them a pretty sizable donation, so to speak, for the movie. I wanted to negotiate at least getting preview tickets, like to go to the grand opening. But then it was too late, and I was like, I don't want to be that guy who's like, well, the deal's off unless I get tickets now to go see it. Okay.
Yeah.
So I mean, we're very excited to work with them, and we're happy with the way it came out and the way the products were presented and the movie in general. I mean, for many, it's got mixed reviews.
Yeah.
If you look at the Rotten Tomatoes, some people are just like, WTF, what just happened there? I don't understand anything. Some were saying that, Christopher Nolan was trying too hard to be Christopher Nolan, as opposed to making like a warm, movie that people can connect with. But some people say it's a masterpiece. And I agree with that sentiment, because, for me, I like movies that engage my mind, that I really have to think about deeply to fully unwrap, the whole plot. I mean, for me, that's interesting. That's why I've always loved Christopher Nolan, because he does complex movies. So.
Yeah, I really thought it was a brilliant movie, and most of the time when my wife and I were driving home, she was like, "Well, they could have had more character development," because I wasn't as emotionally attached to what was going on with these characters. But normally after a movie, we're not sitting there analyzing the movie and going on YouTube afterwards and reading it really got our brain thinking, and we're learning all about time travel and all the stuff that was scientific terms.
And it gets much better after the first viewing. So the first time I saw it, I had to take a bathroom break midway, and that completely destroyed the whole movie for me. After the bathroom break, I took a bathroom break right as they were in the container. Going backwards to go to
the one with the little where he spoiler alert, where he fights person inverted.
Yeah, right before that, and there was a lot of exposition there. There was a lot of discussion about how it works and the grandfather paradox, and all these other themes. And I missed 3 minutes of that, and that's it. That was done. I couldn't understand anything moving forward. I was lost.
Yeah.
So my wife had to fill me in. She was like, "What? You didn't get it?" I was like, "No, I didn't," and she had to explain it to me. And then we went 2 more times to see it. The first time I went to see it was in regular IMAX, which is really Limax, as they call it. It's not the real IMAX. It's on a smaller screen. They don't use the high-end projectors. And the next 2 times we went to go see it was at the Bullock Theater in Austin, Texas, which is associated with a museum. And they have the huge 70-foot screen with the IMAX laser projectors. And that's really the format that Christopher Nolan wants you to see the movie in. That's the intent, and that's why he didn't want to release it straight to video, is because the whole it would kill the purpose of the movie. I mean, it's a big action movie that's supposed to immerse you into the characters, into their world, and putting it on a tiny screen like that after spending $200 million, it just doesn't do justice, And I'm glad he did release it, because it is helping a lot of smaller movie theaters get through this time, because as I'm sure when you went, there probably wasn't too many people in the movie theater, right?
There's probably 12 of us in this humongous theater. We're all very well separated,
right?
But it still did feel pretty good to go. I hadn't been to a movie theater for a long time. I mean,
it's kind of good going back to normal. It feels great, and I really feel for these movie theaters. These businesses that are getting hit so hard. There's certain businesses that are just getting really having a hard time with attendance and people coming in and losing a lot of money. So I really hope that they could weather the storm past COVID and stay open. Otherwise, these big giant movie conglomerates are going to come in and just swallow up all these theaters, and it'll be all big corporate owned. So
what I like about his movies is that I like the there's not as much, there's CG, but it's not like fake scenes, like that plane scene, spoiler alert, that looked like it's a real plane that they crashed into.
It's a real plane. They bought a real airplane and they crashed.
Crazy.
Because they thought it was more practical than using miniatures. And Christopher Nolan, he's big on using practical effects.
Well, I think those stand the test of time too.
Yeah, he was quoted saying that TENET uses less visual effect shots than most romantic comedies.
Wow.
So that's his whole thing. He tries to make everything practical, and they had to like reinvent the IMAX camera to make it shoot in reverse. And I mean, it's you know, say what you want about the movie, but from a technical aspect, like it's really incredible what they did there.
Yeah.
And to make it look real, you know, the forward and backward scenes, like seeing that and
It
how
was so cool.
he's going forwards and another guy's going backwards, and like trying to wrap your head around, like he's traveling backwards through time
Yeah.
as the other guy's moving forward through time. It's just mind-boggling. I love it. I mean, I can't. I think I'm done at 3 times. I'm gonna wait for it to come out on Blu-ray now so I can analyze it, and then I'm gonna sit there with my screenplay. And
look at
I got
that.
the official Christopher Nolan screenplay here, and I'm gonna be reading through it to really kind of dissect all the little nuances of the of what was being said. And then I also have another cool book here, which I got Inside the Secrets of Tenet.
Wow.
So this goes kind of deep into the movie and how it came together, how they created the visual effects. And there's actually quite a cool section here that shows the final scene. Let me see if I could find it real quick. Yeah, so it shows the final scene and people getting exploded here, and there's a whole lot of CM6 MS in this book as well. So I'm excited that I made the book. Yeah. So I'm going to have those two to figure it out. And then I also have one more prop piece. I got this watch, this Hamilton watch.
Wow, look at that.
And this is like the special edition watch that was used for the movie, but it didn't have the digital readout.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't do the digital readout, but this is like the Tenet special edition. I decided to get one just to have as a kind of a souvenir, and it comes in this cool box. So
that is a very cool box.
Yeah, this is for red. So this is for moving forward.
Yeah, you're on the red team. Yeah, you're on the
I'm the red team. Yeah.
Moving forward.
Always moving forward, right?
Yes. We have some questions here. One of them, this is from the Apex Prepper. Have you learned anything about your own masks from the movie industry and ways to improve or make changes?
Well, you know, I'm not trying to change our masks to be better suited for movies, but there was one thing we learned, which, you know, for polycarbonate, and we've known this for quite some time, it does scratch. So, you know, if you take sand, grit, you know, dirt and rub it on there, it's gonna, you know, distort the picture. It's gonna distort, you know, it's gonna damage the visor. So we're actually releasing pretty soon tear-offs, which are gonna work similarly to dirt bike tear-offs.
Oh, okay.
So basically it's several layers on the mask, and you just once you dirty up one layer, you just tear it off, and you have another layer underneath that. So that way we can, you know, for people who work with drywall, or even for, you know, police who are involved in riot control situations, if they get something thrown on their mask, splat, you know, some kind of chocolate milk or a shake thrown on them, you know, you're going to be all fogged up and all blurry. So if you just tear off the outer layer,
that's awesome.
You're back to seeing perfectly well. So, and we're going to have that in a tinted version, along with a standard, you know, clear, transparent version.
Very cool. This is another one. This is from Polaris. Will there ever be self-recharging mask filters manufactured by Mira?
So you can't regenerate a filter because filters have activated carbon. It would require a totally different type of technology. You know, this technology goes back, I don't know, about 100 years. I mean, it's filter paper. We use Ulpa filtration paper graded at U16. It goes on a scale up to 17, along with activated carbon. And the activated carbon is impregnated with metal halides. So metal halides are essentially metal salts, and they bind these contaminants as they go through. And really the secret sauce to making a filter is figuring out the right blend of metal halides to impregnate with the activated carbon to achieve the level of protection you need for the task at hand. It's kind of like cooking, you know, except a lot more complicated and with a lot more chemicals and, you know, metals and stuff like that. Yeah, that sounds interesting. But for now, it's, you know, this is the technology that we see as kind of the most practical for now, until the next big thing comes along.
Yeah.
For our R&D team.
Yeah, this is from Prepper Agenda over here. I love the idea of the tear outs. Will it work with the current models out?
Yeah, so it'll work with the CM6M. And we also have another mask coming out, the CM8M, which it will fit with as well. And the CM8M is kind of a hybrid between the CM6M and the CM7M, where it has similar structure to the CM7M, but it's going to have a goggle style visor and a 6-point head harness to better distribute the weight, along with possibly being released with a built-in microphone, or we might sell the microphone as a separate thing to connect to Peltor headsets. So we're going to have comm systems, which are reverse compatible as well. Wow. And you could attach that comm system to CM6M, CM7M, CM8M, and also the half-face tactical respirator, which we have coming out. So we have a bunch of new products released.
That was going to be my next question, because when I'm out and about, normally I wear... Where's my masks at there? I have masks all over the place. So, I normally prefer like a half face mask, just because people like seeing your eyes, I think, and they get they freak out if I show up to the grocery store with this. But there's going to be a mirror safety half face mask at some point coming out, and when could we expect that?
Yeah, in the next we're aiming to release it before the holiday season. So it's going to be the half face mask. It's going to be compatible with comm systems. It's going to have a 40 millimeter NATO threaded port, so you can use any 40 millimeter filter on there. And it's also going to have a whole bunch of attachment systems for helmets. So, no matter what kind of helmet you have, or if you want to wear it without a helmet, you're able to do so with this mask. And it's really going to be a competitive product to the OpsCore SOTR solder. I don't know if you've seen it, but a lot of the tactical guys are running the OpsCore solder now as a half-face respirator. And it's a great product. I actually have one here. But only thing is it doesn't have the 40 millimeter filters. So you're kind of stuck with just whatever filter they provide, which is just a P3 filter. We're going to have, you could wear activated carbon filters with it as well.
Yeah, so let's see on this. This is from Climate Preparedness. How much of a problem is a 3-day stubble beard when wearing a mask? Is that much of an issue? Yeah,
well, everybody's, 3-day stubble is different for everybody. I mean, I don't grow much facial hair, so this is my 3-day stubble, right? 3-day stubble for Urban Prepper might be what he has on there now. That's probably,
I've been growing this for years. This is
so it just depends. We typically don't recommend it. A lot of guys who wear beards, they just refuse to shave it because their wives don't let them, or they don't think it looks good. They'll have a beard trimmer in their kit. So in case something happens, you just go. I mean, it could take you 5-10 minutes, and now you're good. And then some other guys also run, they use Vaseline to cover the seal, because it does seal a little better with using Vaseline. Does it work? Yes, it does. Can we recommend that as safety professionals? We can't recommend that. Just because, the best way to do it is to have a clean shaven face. You're going to get the best possible seal that way. And you also want to make sure that you fit test your mask. Make sure it fits. Do a negative pressure test, as you've shown in some of your videos before, to make sure that it does seal onto your face, that there are no leaks before you wear it during, an emergency situation.
So unofficially, for us preppers that do have a gas mask in their get-home bags or bug-out bags, unofficially, we should probably include some Vaseline in there as well, just to help out with a little bit.
Yeah, Vaseline and a beard trimmer. And a beard trimmer. In case you grow a beard.
Yeah, I have I definitely, now in my kits, I have this one particular beard trimmer that's fairly inexpensive.
And you know what? Even if you don't grow much of a beard, like a guy like me who just has a little stubble here and there, it's good to keep a beard trimmer in your kit, because let's say you have to bug out, right? And you have to get away from your home, and you don't know when you're coming back next time. So if you're going to take your CBRN kit with you in a bag over the course of a few days, you might need to trim your beard. So you want to take a beard trimmer with you no matter what. It's a great addition to your kit.
Yeah, looking through the comments over here, so some people talking about their masks. They don't take it off in California. That's one of the things that, with everything going on now, a lot of people are wearing the cotton cloth ones when they're out and about, and with big beards and stuff. So it's hard for me because I like testing, like the real deal masks, like what you have, and so.
And I'll say something about that. A lot of people reach out and they're like, do these cloth masks even work? So we did do some testing on cloth masks and N95 masks. With liquid aerosols, and liquid aerosols is how COVID travels. So an N95 mask, which received one of the higher ratings, was about 50% efficient at filtering out liquid aerosols. So essentially 50% of the liquid aerosols went right through the medium of the N95 mask. The cloth masks, I believe, were slightly below 40%. So people ask, okay, well, with that information, what's the point of even wearing one of these masks? And the point is really to stop projecting your saliva. If you're wearing a mask like that, obviously there's going to be some viral particulates getting out, but some people are, spitty talkers. They, when they talk, they release a lot of saliva, and it's just good to contain it as much as possible so it doesn't project out. It stays more localized.
So it's kind of like how we teach our kids to, hey, cover your mouth before you.
Right.
Not that it's going to prevent everything, but it's going to stop that emotion.
Exactly. It's going to stop something, and stopping something is better than nothing. So
yeah, cool. Have people been coming to you a lot for these style questions as far as
they've been asking? I mean, because all of a sudden since January, I think 1 million different companies came about with selling face masks. Some companies that were producing other things are reverting to producing face masks, and face masks are like a big hot thing right now. I mean, if you go on, Facebook and just scroll through your feed, I mean, every other ad is like face masks, new Kickstarter for face masks. People are concerned. They want to know, will it protect you? I mean, it'll do something, but it's not foolproof. If you look at videos of virologists in a lab, they're in full hazmat garb and wearing a full face respirator. They're not wearing
bikini bottoms on their face.
No. Okay. So it's not foolproof. I mean, it's better than nothing. But if you're really looking to protect yourself, it's recommended to wear a full face respirator because you got to block your eyes, you got to have a good sealer on your face, and even more important is knowing how to use the equipment and knowing how to decontaminate. Because a lot of people will go out, I'll go to the supermarket, I'll put this on, and then they get into their car, they're touching it, they're taking it off, then they're scratching their face, their eyes, and and that's not the right way to do it. The right way to do it is to come home and jump into a decontamination shower right away, and not take the mask off until you get home. Take off your clothes, put them straight into the washer, start running it. And then, go into your bathroom and take a shower while wearing your mask and decontaminate your entire body. Then it's safe to remove your mask. I mean, if you want to get, professional about your procedure. So.
Awesome. There's a couple questions. Does the Vaseline break down the silicone seal over time?
That's a good question. I don't know the answer to that. I don't know the answer. It might.
Maybe.
Depends on the compound of the mask, I suppose. I'd have to ask my, chemical engineers on our team who work with the rubber. That question.
Good question, APEX.
That's a good question.
That's a nice one. Let's see. I see people talking about the one that you probably get it a lot as far as the difference between the Czech and the CM-6 and the MIRA CM-6. Let's see. I think you always get this question a lot, I think. So as far as the differences between these two ones. Because I can't buy the Czech ones unless I don't.
So just to clear that up, so MIRA Safety actually serves as the retail arm of a few defense contractors. One being Gumarny Zubry, the other one being AVON Chem, both based in the Czech Republic. So the CM-6, the Czech CM-6 is the same mask, except the CM-6 doesn't come with the drinking system. And our, the MIRA Safety CM-6 is also going to be released soon with a 6-point head harness. But, essentially, Gumana Zubri and Ava Chem, we have a relationship with them where they hire MIRA Safety as the retail kind of arm for the world, along with the exclusive provider for their products for the North American market.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Everyone they always see that in the comment section. Let me see. This is the petroleum. This person, Steve, says, yes, the petroleum jelly will affect it, as will soaps with softeners in. Okay. Great bit of advice over there. Great input. So can we talk a little bit about some of the, here's another one really quick. Prepper Agenda always has good questions. Any thoughts on producing an inexpensive temporary respirator which will protect against carbon monoxide as well as everything else similar to AVON NH15?
Oh, so an escape hood? Yeah. So we're going to have an escape hood coming out. The thing with escape hoods is by law, you have to make it so the filters aren't replaceable. It has to be kind of a foolproof system. So they're typically more expensive. And they're made for, they're used a lot within VIP protection. Mm-hmm. So, some of these private contractors will protect you for money, basically, and run around with you. And in case anything happens, give you products to use right on the spot. They're used for that mostly just because they could afford it. And they're pretty expensive. Yeah. So you'd be paying pretty much the same price for a product where you can't replace the filters. That's the only issue. The Avon product that Prepper Agenda mentioned, I believe it's over $200, $250, and it's a one-time use system. It's not meant to be reused. The benefit is a lot of these systems are compact. So the hood is foldable and the filter is smaller. It's made for a shorter duration for more specialized threats. So it's easier to kind of, put it in a smaller case and keep it inside of, some kind of Molly pouch on your kit, or, just to minimize space. So that is a benefit, but it does come at the expense of just higher price.
Yeah, $200 for one-time use seems like I don't know if I
it's
could do
pretty
that.
Expensive. Yeah.
Let's see. What's this one? Is there any reason you don't see advancement or a push in rebreather style mask like updated Soviet IP5?
Not really. I haven't researched much into the rebreather realm. I don't own a rebreather myself. I suppose it's just older technology. Because why would you use a rebreather when you can use a filter? Mm-hmm. Aside from not knowing a contaminant source, and that's why SCBAs are used and recommended when you don't know exactly what type of contaminants are in the air. The safest thing to do is use an SCBA, bring oxygen with you, because you don't know if your filter matches up to the threat that you need to filter out. Yeah. But that's a good question. I don't know. I don't really have much experience with rebreathers, to be honest.
Cool. Let's see. Again, if you guys are just tuning in right now, we're talking with Roman from MIRA Safety, and we talked earlier on about the movie TENET, which is a Christopher Nolan movie that's out, and it features the MIRA Safety gas mask. They ordered 350 of them, and Roman got some autographed one back. There's a big cool scene. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, there we go. There's a cool scene at the very end of the movie where it's a big battle scene, and spoiler alert, there's some time travel involved, and there's basically I don't know, should I even talk about that? There's basically one army going in real time and another doing something. They're invert, kind of like a palindrome, is both ways, front to back.
You can't spoil it for anybody. Trust me.
Even if everything that you hear in this one, it's not going to spoil anything because it's so complex it doesn't matter. So there's links in the description box for if you like this mask and you want to get the mask that's used in TENET, and whether you want to be on the blue team or red team as far as your strap, there's the links are in the description box for this one. So is there any other questions on TENET that I wanted to get to? I think we covered a lot of the stuff as far as the main scenes on there. Let's see. Is there anything that we might have missed on that one?
I mean, there's so much detail in the movie. It's just once it starts, it's just heart pounding, continuous action. With every scene is significant.
Yeah.
The movie could have been a lot longer than it was, and they could have expanded a lot on certain things to make it easier to follow. But I think they did a really good job at just condensing everything to the essentials, and allow you to use your brain to figure out the in between of that. Which a lot of people want to go in and enjoy a movie. They don't want to sit there and do a crossword puzzle.
Have to think. Yeah. Neil's timeline, and that's the Robert Pattinson character is super complex. Like
it's very complex.
He's basically the Kyle Reese of from Terminator of Tenet. Then his
right, kind of. Yeah. I still haven't fully figured out his timeline.
No, I haven't figured out the bad guy, the main villain's character, on his motivation for basically he's trying to destroy the world through this the time thing. I'm like, why does he want to do that? He has a kid.
He has cancer.
Yeah.
Right.
I got that part, but he also has a kid.
He's just an egomaniac. I mean, he's like a sociopath,
Okay.
He's I have cancer, I'm going to die. So screw everybody.
Yeah.
I want to kill everybody, and I want to just destroy the whole world now.
What
I don't understand is why the future gave him this technology to destroy the world.
Yeah,
it's don't they want a future?
Yeah, I didn't. That was the part I was trying to wrap my head around it. And then why would the people that were working for him want to do that, to destroy themselves too? I did. That was
maybe they just didn't understand what he was doing.
Okay, yeah. So he kept a little,
because he kind of compartmentalized all the
And
information.
it seemed like they were getting paid well too in gold.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, they had all these fancy suits, and those guys look good. So, it's like you ask less questions, you keep getting paid by Mr. Andre Sator.
He pays in gold bars too. And that one guy, when he ripped off that one gold bar, I thought that was
inverted gold bars too.
Inverted, yeah.
they just jump into your hand. It's awesome.
Well,
one connection there also was I don't know if you researched the Sator Square.
Yes, I did.
Square.
I did.
So there's a lot of that. There's Sator, which is Andre Sator. There's a Repo, which is the name of the art dealer, the forger. There's Rotas, the construction company that built the pentagram inverter, whatever. What else? What are the other ones?
There's a
Rotas, Sator, Tenet, the name of the movie, right?
Yeah.
And it's all and 10, it's 10 and 10, right? So it perfectly aligns with the end scene, which is 10 minutes forward, 10 minutes back.
Didn't even think of that.
You get it, right?
I know that the Neil's character, but it was his. It doesn't matter. It's a spoiler alert. So Maximilian or whatever, they said that was the end of that word was also the inverse of Neil. I saw all sorts of stuff.
Yeah. There's a rumor out there. Another spoiler. You're gonna have to when you release this video, publish it on YouTube. You're gonna have to put major spoilers.
Yeah, major spoilers. Spoiler alert.
So Maximilian is the kid's name. Some people are saying that Neil is actually the older version of Kat's son.
Yeah, and I think that was what it was hinted towards. There's another thing I was going to talk about. Just totally spacing on it. Oh, the interesting, I thought, because Michael Caine has a little scene in there, and he's in almost all the Christopher Nolan movies. But they said that Michael Caine's character he's also I think Michael Caine's in Inception. They had some parallels between the movies that this actually is in the same universe type thing.
Christopher Nolan has kind of a cult-like following.
Yeah.
And he's really one of the last true, real directors that creates original screenplays, and, he's not just regurgitating the same Marvel stuff from the comic books and, Batman over and over. I mean, even though he did Batman, but, he took a fresh spin on it. But he has a lot of original movies, and he's really one of the last guys that gets a blank check to do that. Yeah. Not many guys can come to Warner Brothers and be like, I got this great original thing. I need $250 million. They're going to be like, probably not,
Yeah.
So I forget what I was going to say about that, but essentially, he's a special kind of director. I mean, I compare him to kind of a modern day Stanley Kubrick.
Mm-hmm.
You know, where the movies are very layered and deep and have, you know, undertones of our human condition and, you know, all this kind of information that doesn't, you know, show itself at the surface level, but once you look deeper into it, is analogous to, you know, all these other interesting things.
Yeah.
So
it would be pretty trippy if the movie's so deep that it actually intertwines with the previous movie from several years ago in some way.
Yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me though that if that were to happen.
Yeah.
Is there any plans on having like a TENET branded mask by a limited edition, special edition?
No, so that's one thing we didn't negotiate, which we probably could have, or maybe could have, because Hamilton, if you actually take a look at their marketing, you're going to see that they are doing trailers with this product, and if you look on tenetfilm.com, it's going to say Hamilton Watch in the bottom. Like they went into a deeper level of co-marketing, you know, because they actually developed the product from scratch just for the movie.
Wow.
And I'm sure, you know, they have a much bigger team than us, Hamilton. But we were also in the credits, you know, just as they were, in the same area, in the special thanks section. It was us, Hamilton, and, you know, the government of India and a few other governments. So,
well, I actually
India, so
yeah, I didn't stay for the credits. I should have. At that point I wanted to get some photos there with the gas mask, so I was worried about that. And my wife was like, "No, don't do it. You're going to embarrass me." Because I'm like, "Hey, I'm talking to Roman on Saturday, and I need to have some photos for this." But I didn't end up seeing the credits. So when I rewatch it, I'll be sure to do that.
Yeah, I went with my wife. She was a good sport about it. And at first she was like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I'm live streaming." She's like, "Okay." Because I did like an Instagram live stream to go watch it. So
how does she feel about you going to the grocery store with the CM6M, or going just out and about with it on?
She's fine. I mean, you know,
the family business.
That's the business, right? I mean, you got to practice what you preach, right?
Yeah, definitely.
You got to wear your own products. So it's fine. I mean, you know, once again, we just try to isolate as much as possible. And we're home most of the time. We're kind of homebodies. We have a baby girl, and we have a nice house in the suburbs, and we're just trying to stay away from downtown Austin, and kind of take care of what we need to take care of at home. Yeah, and with technology nowadays, you really don't need to go out much. I mean, you know, I'm kind of an introverted extrovert, so I'm perfectly fine with just being home.
Yeah.
I love it. It's great.
I think Austin's probably similar to Seattle as far as I try to stay away from like some of the hot spots that are going on over there right now. Any other? I was trying to think if there's any other like prepping type gear in the movie that might be worth mentioning or not. But any kind of overall thoughts as far as preparedness strategies in today's kind of, not related to TENET or anything, but just what's going on right now in the world as far as stuff that you've noticed or.
Yeah. You know, food's still very important. Food and water will be the reasons why many people are driven away from the comfort of their own home.
Yeah.
Because once that runs out, then you have to go seek it. And at that time, you know, during an emergency, it might be very difficult to find food and water. So food, water, and hygiene, really. You know, being able to go to the bathroom and having a system for that, even if the plumbing stops. And then, you know, in order to be able to hunker down for an extended period of time, you need security as well. So concentrate on food, water, security, and hygiene.
Yeah.
I think if you do that, then it kind of covers many bases. It covers many different types of scenarios and allows you to stay independent and not have to go to, you know, some kind of government center to ask for rations or whatnot, you know, because that has happened, you know, in history. Like, I think I told you last time we spoke, right around the time when my family immigrated from Russia, my mother actually had to wait online for food. And when I was looking through her stuff, you know, a few years back, I found her rations card, and she had a card, but she had to go onto this line, wait for food, present her papers, and then they would give her, her grain or sugar or whatever it was at that time. I don't know what she was picking up, but that sucks. Like I don't want that to ever happen to my generation, my family. So that's really the most important thing. And, it's up to us on how we spend our money. Some people, they want to spend their money on designer things and this and that, and, new sneakers, or you could spend a few $1,000s and really stock up on a year's worth of food for your family. Yeah. I think it's vital. And, you can't use, I don't have enough space for that as an excuse, because you could always get a cheap storage unit for, $100, $200 a month, and just load it up with whatever you need.
Yeah. This is from the APEX Prepper. He says, "What's with the American map and the colored zones in your background here?" And I see it too. There's like a blue and there's purple.
That's territories. So, along with doing civilian sales, we do a lot of professional sales. We do law enforcement sales. So those are the territories that are kind of owned by somebody. Not, that's territory map.
Yeah, that's Philip also. Is there anything we should be concerned about with the shaded map handling over your shoulder in the background?
Yeah.
These are all there's trolls that have, any troll that's ever contacted Mira, that keep track of that, and now you're on the.
They're all here, right? That's fine. I love it. I love it. We're an open book, so there's nothing to troll us about.
The C Prepper would love to see you. Would you on the Alex Jones show? Since you're not, would Mira say, would you ever go on the Alex Jones show?
That'd be interesting. I don't know. I'd have to give it some thought. I'd rather go on Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
And, if Alex Jones is there at the same time, me, Joe Rogan, andAlex Jones.
That would be pretty epic.
Alex, Joe, if you're listening, I think we should make that happen. We're all local here, and I could, put you guys on some gas mask info. Yeah. That'd be cool.
Well, the new Joe Rogan studio looks like it looks like he's using an Atlas survival shelter or something, and might as well have some. As far as where the location is, he probably should. He's
got a really he bought a really nice house here locally. Yeah, it's like a $14 million place, and $14 million in Austin gets you like a really crazy house. Wow. So he's right on the water. He's got a beautiful place there. So I'd love to visit a studio and go on. Yeah.
So Joe Rogan, please invite Roman from Air Safety, and
everybody write to Joe Rogan.
Everyone write Joe Rogan. Let him know that way. We need to bring on Roman for this. Let's see. We just have a couple more minutes before we'll let you get going. This was a good question because I know the answer for it. But what filter is best to protect against smoke? And I know that you sent an email out recently.
Sure. So this is a great question. So smoke, smoke is a particulate. There's particulates in smoke. And there's also gases that get released when things burn. So you really want a multi-gas filter that's coupled with a P3 filter. So the P3 will take out smoke particulates, and then the multi-gas filter will filter out the gases that are produced with things burning. The only thing, a simple multi-gas filter won't do is convert carbon monoxide into carbon dioxide, allowing you to breathe it out. Mm-hmm. And there is an oxidizing agent which is used within some specialty filter called hopcolite, and there's other derivatives of hopcolite, which oxidizes carbon monoxide, adds an oxygen atom to it, creating carbon dioxide, which isn't as toxic and allows you to breathe it out. And that's used for smoke escape. Out of our product line, we do have a product that is a multi-gas filter with a P3 included. It's called the VK450. We are actually getting quite a big batch of them in very soon. We're doing a pre-sale. It's only a few thousand units that we're getting in. So once it goes sold out, that next batch is fully sold out, and we're not going to take any more orders until we have another batch secured. Yeah. We've learned a lot during this experience with back orders and stuff, and we're trying to not do back orders anymore. We want to make it very clear, the expectations of when a product's actually going to come in. So we have a few thousand units coming in. Once those are gone, they should be in within the next month. Until we get that next batch after that, we're not going to release them again.
Yeah, I just put a link in the chat room for the VK450 smoke carbon filter. I'm gonna be putting in an order for that as well, because I have a few kits that I want them in. I imagine for a lot of like the fires that have been going on, especially on the West Coast, it'd probably be a good filter to have for those type of situations. Then
it is. I mean, especially if you're stuck. You see that you live in a wildfire prone area, and you think you might be stuck in your house when that happens. That's there's going to be carbon monoxide when you're indoors, because carbon monoxide is produced in oxygen poor environments. So if you're stuck in a burning house, yeah, carbon dioxide is definitely a big issue, and that's something you have to prepare for. If, on the other hand, you're stuck in a wildfire and you're outdoors, carbon monoxide isn't as much of an issue because there's oxygen flowing, freely. So more of a factor in house fires.
Yeah,
Right.
and let's see, this maybe this final question for you. And I think I know the answer on this because you recommended this to me. What is a good resource to show the best method to decontaminate the mask after exposure? And you recommend last year you recommended a cleaning solution that you use, and now I have that in my prep.
Yes, I think what Super Lambini is asking here is kind of a video of sorts. What's a good resource to show how to actually do it? So it really depends on the type of contaminant that you're decontaminating from, because each type of contaminant will have its own procedure on how to neutralize it. For anything, bioviral, I would recommend this stuff called Allegro 5003-U.
Yep.
It's specifically, tested to work on coronavirus. It's pretty cheap. You get like a big 2-gallon thing of it for like $20-something, and then a capful makes a whole gallon of decontaminant. So, I mean, that much should be enough for, many years. I mean, depending on, how much you're decontaminating, but, that's a great product to have. As far as, a good video resource on how to, do this stuff, it's really made for professionals. People go to school on decontamination, on proper usage of PPE, on how to neutralize certain compounds. So I would recommend, taking a course on it because you need some hands-on knowledge of how to do this stuff. I wouldn't just go by, watching a YouTube video for something so serious.
Yeah, I bought I forget the full name of it, the 5003 CU or whatever that was, and I bought 2 bottles of it, and I'm like, man, why did I get 2 bottles? Because this one bottle is going to last me forever. So
I use like 5 capsules, and then I just keep putting it into my pressure. What is that thing? The pesticide sprayer, garden sprayer, and that's what I use to decontaminate things. Like when I get Amazon packages, I'll just spray them down.
Yeah, are you still doing that with the packages then?
I am because recently it just came out that there's 20,000 employees of Amazon have contracted coronavirus, and it's been kind of put under wraps. And these people are packing your stuff, and I'm still not 100% clear on whether how this virus is transmitted, how long it lives on surfaces. I don't think we've gotten a clear answer on that. There's a whole bunch of conflicting information. So
better safe than sorry then for.
Better safe than sorry, and until I get something conclusive, on how long it lives on surfaces, what it actually is, how many people are actually dying. I mean, you look on the internet and it's just full of information that goes both ways. There's people saying, oh, it's not serious at all, and you shouldn't worry, and this is all a big hoax. And then there's the other side that says, run for the hills, we're all going to die because coronavirus, and I'll be the first person to take the vaccine. I'm kind of in the middle, and I just try to like look at both sides and try to get information, and
I filmed a video with that cleaning solution for like cleaning the boxes, and I had it all done, and then I didn't know if it was relevant anymore, because then they're like, oh, don't worry about that. We find that that's not, but I have this video in my backlog. I guess I should probably release it now that I've synced with you on this, that it still might be worthwhile. So
that'd be good.
Well,
by the way, I like the blue light in the background.
Thanks.
Reminds me of inversion.
I tried to make it a little soft lighter in the back, and so it's not as bright. And then I have this little light over here, and have some Tup branding, and you can see
No, that's nice. I like this. You have some like pots and pans there. Is that?
Yeah, I did a video on a cowboy coffee and how to make cowboy coffee like for my preps, because I realized that my coffee preparedness measures weren't up to par for off-grid scenarios because I was using the K-cups, and so I'm like, well, I got to learn how to make cowboy coffee, and so then I recently did a video on that. Watch the video if you guys like it.
Yeah, for good outdoor coffee, my best method has been the AeroPress.
Yes, a lot of people love that. Yeah,
it's compact. It's very easy to use. I mean, there's not, it's kind of foolproof.
Yeah.
That you get the filters with it, which are tiny.
Yep.
And a Hario grinder. It's a Japanese grinder. They're pretty compact, small, and you can create kind of a little compact kit with it for off-grid scenarios.
I've been looking for a good manual grinder that's made like I'd love to have a Japanese one. I think that'd be awesome.
Hario.
Yeah,
Hario's great.
Okay, I'm gonna look on Amazon or something and get that ordered. So I ended up getting something else, but Japanese one would be nice. Well, we've been talking for an hour. We've had to answer all sorts of questions. I know there's still some questions in the chat room, but we'll try to get to those. But hopefully we answered a lot of it. And then again, the main point was to talk over TENET, which I have in the cool background right here. Which, if you haven't seen the movie, definitely go and watch it. If you like a mind bender, if you don't like those, then this is going to be it's a pretty complicated movie. But in the especially in the final scene, you're going to see around 350 MIRA'S Safety CM-6M gas masks with the particle mask filter in it, just like what you see here. And it's a really cool movie. It's really cool to see MIRA'S Safety on a product that I have be in a movie like that. So, any other future movies that you have coming out, Roman?
Not yet. We're in talks with some. I doubt we'll ever get anything as big as Christopher Nolan's 2020 blockbuster with all gas masks during a pandemic. This is just like it's crazy that even happened. But I don't think we're gonna get anything that big again. But who knows? I mean, I live by the philosophy of let go and let God, and everything that comes my way, it's all blessing, and I'm very thankful for it. And we try to do a good job. So
it's so cool to see like how things have progressed for the company and everything, and now it's on the big screen, and more and more people are starting to think about this, and there's new product lines coming out. I have working on the child mask filter from MIRA'S Safety as well. The videos hopefully come out in a month if I can finish it. So, but yeah, everyone, make sure to smash that like button and go to MIRA'S Safety site. I provided links in the description box. They have a lot of different products out there. I have some reviews coming up of some of the products, and make sure you go watch TENET. Watch it with your CM-6M gas mask, and you'll be totally in character for it. It'll be a lot of fun. so thanks for watching this live stream, everyone, and special thanks to Roman for appearing on it, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching it.
Thanks for having me on, Cliff. Take care.
All right. Thanks a bunch.